Shifting is how we move up and down on the fingerboard in order to access more notes on our instrument. We're going to review how to properly shift, how shifting occurs in a scale, and then how to know when to shift in your music. One of the key elements about shifting is something that we've been talking about since the beginning of the school year: posture. When we play cello, we want to make sure that our thumb is positioned behind our second finger and that our elbow is up nice and high. If one of these two things is missing, this can affect not only the intonation of the notes before and after your shift, but it can actually affect how far you can shift. Watch how far I can shift if my elbow is collapsed. This is about as far as I can go. If my elbow is up nice and high right where it needs to be and stays high while I'm moving up and down my fingerboard, I can reach all the way down to the edge and back nice and easy. The first shifting exercise we'll be doing doesn't require your bow, so you can go ahead and set that to the side. We won't need it for a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to position my hand and my elbow as if I was going to play on the D string. So my thumb is behind my second finger and my fingers are just kind of hovering over the strings. I'm going to double check to make sure our elbow is nice and high and my thumb stays connected with the neck of the instrument. All I'm going to do is slide my hand up on the neck until about that curvy place where the neck meets the body of the instrument. My thumb kind of finds a resting place there. And then I'm going to come back to where I was originally positioned. We're going to call this part right here first position. Let's go ahead and slide from first position all the way until you can't go anymore, and then come back. As we do this, make sure that your elbow is staying up nice and high. I'm not collapsing like this. This is a very slow and relaxed exercise. We're not going to be going crazy fast. You want to imagine that your thumb is kind of like a paintbrush, and you're just taking that paintbrush and painting the back of the neck with your thumb. For this next exercise, you'll need something like tissue paper, or toilet paper, something very thin. What you're going to do is you'll take your hand and put it back in that first position we've been talking about, thumb behind the second finger, fingers are wiggly over the strings, and your elbow nice and high. I'm taking my little piece of tissue I got here, and I'm going to place it on top of my strings, and I'm going to hold it there with all four of my fingers on the D string. Now, I'm not pressing the string all the way down to the fingerboard, but I'm putting just enough pressure that the tissue can stay on the string and not blow away. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to slide my thumb up and down the fingerboard, taking the tissue with me. I know that I have the correct amount of pressure. If the tissue comes with my hand without crumpling or blowing away or anything like that, I just want enough pressure that your fingers and tissue and thumb can travel up and down the neck. The first scale that we learned that includes a shift in it is the 2-octave G major scale. When we add the second octave, we're talking about starting from fourth finger on D string and ending in a higher shifted position. Earlier, we called this first position. In first position, my first finger is on my first finger tape. My second finger goes, that's second position. When my first finger is on the third tape or the fourth finger tape, that's third position. And when my first finger is on that fourth tape that we've never used before, that's fourth position. When we shift, the last finger that you play before you shift becomes the engine of your train. So for example, in 2-octave G major, the fourth finger is going to be the engine of your train, meaning that the fourth finger is going to lead your shift to fourth position. Now I'm going to release all of that pressure until we get about a tissue level like we had before. And we're going to leave all four fingers down, slide to fourth position. So I know I'm in fourth position when my first finger is on top of my fourth position tape. I'm going to lift all the fingers I don't need. First finger is going to put that weight into the string. And when I'm coming back down the scale to shift back to first position, the last finger that will be playing is first finger. So now first finger is the engine of the shifting train. I'm going to release that pressure to tissue paper levels, slide back to first position, then all four fingers are going to push down for D. Let's try a G major scale starting on fourth finger on D string. We'll pluck 4 quarter notes for every note of the scale, and we'll stop for our shift and walk us through that. Ready, go. release that pressure, slide to fourth position, 4 fingers up, first finger down. Ready, go. Now third finger and fourth finger. Now third again. Slide back to first position, all 4 fingers down. Ready, go. You're probably wondering what shift markings look like in your music. When you look at your 2-octave G major scale, you'll notice that one of your notes has a -1 on top of it. That means that you're going to use first finger to play that note, but the negative sign or the dash next to it means that you're going to shift to get there. Positions are notated with Roman numerals. So when we have our first position, you'll see that Roman numeral 1, and when you see fourth position, it'll be written with a Roman numeral 4.